Welcome back to another episode, everyone. We're gonna get in the woods. I've been hunting 2 times, but I gotta finish this truck bed box that I make every so often. The last one I tore it apart to use the wood. The one before that, tore it apart to use the wood on something else. I have to get this finished so that I can get my hunting stuff in here and I can get hunting. Either way, you put carpet on the bottom of this and it slides in your truck bed real nice. That's the reason for the carpet. But either way, but I want to start this episode and talk in this episode about my gear for the year. There's some changes from last year, and I will try to be as quick as possible. I don't always just choose the best option in the gear category because sometimes the best option is so expensive that it's not worth its value, if that makes sense. It's like I have some really cheap stuff. I have some expensive stuff. It goes both ways, but I just want to go over my hunting setup for the year real quick. Hopefully this video doesn't drag on too long. The intro already has, but I'm gonna get my gear laid out into this box and we'll talk about it quick. All right, so as fast as we can, we're gonna go over my hunting setup. Not my filming setup. I might make another video on that. If you're interested in my filming setup, let me know. I doubt you are. I am still hunting with a 2014, I believe, 2015 PSE Bow Madness 32. I shoot 60 pounds. I have a single pin True Glow Range Rover on here. Literally my favorite single pin of all time. It's $100 compared to anything else that's like $400. And it is geared, so you don't have to lock it in, you have to unlock it to move it. It's got little gears in it. Absolutely love the True Glow Range Rover. If you can find a True Glow Range Rover, buy it immediately and put it on your bow. You will have no regrets. On that bow, I shoot the cheapest arrows you can find for the most part. They're 400, what are they, gold tips, something. I'm not going to go in depth on my arrows. I will go slightly in depth on my broadheads. No, I won't go in depth, but I absolutely love hybrids. So I shoot the Muzzy Trocars. I doubt it'll focus on that, but yeah, I guess expandable the other, so you get a really good cut if it opens. If everything goes wrong, you're still getting an inch cut there. Absolutely love these. Fixed all my problems with my bow being inaccurate with broadheads, especially fixed blades. I tuned my bow the first year I tried to use fixed blades, and every like 5th broadhead would be off by 5-6 inches. No idea why. Didn't matter which arrow it was. Just every so often you'd get one, and I refuse to accept that. These hybrids fix that problem completely. That's my bow setup. Next, we'll go with how do we get up the tree. I have Hawk Helium. I have 4 30-inch Hawk Heliums. They're bigger, they're heavier, but man, I can get 25 feet up in a tree or so with these. Absolutely love them. I love their, what are the daisy chain webbing they come with. Like I said, they're a little heavy. So like this set right here is like 10 pounds, I think, with all 4 of them. They're like two and some change pounds a piece. Then I went with a giant platform this year. This is the Trophy Line Mission. It is 17 inches wide by, I believe, 13.5 inches deep. I have hunted in it twice, and I have absolutely zero regrets. This thing is amazing. I am someone who stands all the time in a normal tree stand. I barely sit down as it is, so a saddle was a no-brainer once I started sitting in one. The only problem I had, the maneuverability wasn't great on the smaller platform. I had like an 11 by an 11.5 XOP platform that weighed 5 pounds. So getting this Mission that also comes in at 5 pounds, being, 17 by 12.5 was a no-brainer, and I absolutely love it. Next, I have a Walmart backpack. This backpack, though, fits everything I need for filming and hunting. It's a little snug. I need to upgrade this year, but I have straps on straps. I got my big camera in here. I got my camera arm. I got a GoPro. I have all of my batteries, wireless mics, everything else. My grunt calls on the side. All of my batteries and cables are in the other side. This little backpack for $39 when I bought it 5 years ago has come in clutch. I hunt with Vortex 12 by 50s. Absolutely wouldn't recommend anything less. at the Shield store, they try to talk you into a 10, especially up here in the Midwest in the woods, but man, you're not going to regret a 12. When are you ever like, man, I wish I could see this closer, or I wish I couldn't see this as close? Barely ever. And if you're at 20 yards, you're not going to be want to looking through the binos anyway. Those sit in there when I go hunting. And then the last piece of this puzzle is my harness, my saddle. We have a whole video last year where we all sat in each other's saddles and tested stuff out, and I loved mine. Now, there is one caveat. I had to add Prusik knots to the bottom of my bridge connection to get all of that weight to be pulling from the bottom. When you just have it in the middle of that webbing, hip pinch, pulls on your back too much, super uncomfortable. So you do have to make modifications to this one to make it as comfortable as the others. However, for $100, I am not complaining, especially since it's a hybrid. You can use it as, you know, if you get in a normal tree stand, it has your hook up there for your normal tree stand. I can't think of the word right now. I'm trying to go quickly. But having these suspenders built into it, super comfortable. You throw it on in the truck, you walk to the woods, you know, it's not slipping down, it's not too tight on your hips, nothing like that. Absolutely love the hybrid version. So that is a quick, dirty rundown of everything that I use to go hunting. Now, the few things that I would upgrade, if I had the money today, I would try to find a happy medium for lighter sticks. These are 30-inch sticks, and I have 4 of them. I can get 25 feet in the tree. It's beautiful. I love it. It's so heavy and bulky, though. So if I could get, you know, 20-inch sticks, 4 20-inch sticks that weigh nothing, like the Hyperlights from Trophy Line, I would do that. But for the price, you know, you're paying $500-600 to shave that weight. I will deal with lugging in these sticks. The other upgrade I'm looking at this year is a new backpack. Once again, the price is what is preventing me from doing that. That is my hunting setup for the year. For anyone that is interested, though, I'll just pull it out here real quick. I have a Hawk camera arm. I believe Muddy owns it now. So if you get the Muddy camera arm, it's almost exactly the same thing. I put a K&F Concept fluid head on top of that camera arm. That was a lifesaver. So that's the camera arm I run. Just a standard GoPro alligator clip. I got my Canon G60 for my in-tree footage stuff. That's a quick, dirty rundown. That's my gear video for the year. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to go crazy in depth. All I know is I am super glad I went with a bigger platform, especially with how light this one is. I'm happy with how high I get my sticks. I wish I could shave weight. My bow is going to be untouched for years yet unless something bad happens and something breaks, because it still shoots fantastically and I love it. Binos are fantastic. I wish I had a better harness, but I found myself not liking having a bino harness on just in general. So I just took it off, and when I get in the tree, I just hang these binos on the side of the tree instead of on my chest. Kind of personal preference there as a hunter, what you will decide to do. But that's my hunting setup. As fast, dirty, and as quick as I can make it. I do my best to find value. So sometimes I have the cheapest things, like my bow is $300 8 years ago, and I refused to upgrade because bows are too expensive. Arrows barely matter. I'm not an Olympic shooter. I'm trying to hit a heart this big at 30 yards. You don't need to be an Olympic shooter. Just make sure you practice and make sure you are doing the fundamentals correctly, and it's not as important as you think it is. Broadheads are just so expensive all the way around, but man, the Muzzy Trocars are on the cheaper end, and being that hybrid model where they have a fixed blade, if everything goes wrong, you're still getting a good cut lane, but if everything goes right, you're just dripping holes through these deer. Absolutely love that. And then obviously, I don't know if I'll ever upgrade my saddle harness either unless something breaks or rips. My only complaint is it doesn't come with pouches, and I've been struggling to find pouches I like. So I have an e-tool carrier on here now, and that's where my tether and then my backpack strap and stuff live. And it's honestly like the best pouch that I could find. I had it laying around, but I need a pouch for my my lineman's rope. and anything else random I want to shove into the back pocket. And I haven't found anything I like for that yet. So hopefully here this week we'll find a new pouch and get that put in. But ultimately, that's the hunting setup. That's the video. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope it shows enough info. If you have any questions, put it down below and I'll make a longer video. If you want to see what my entire filming setup looks like, go ahead and comment that below too, and I will do a video on that as well. But make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to go out in the woods. So until next time, see you in the woods.